Here we go again.
Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. You already know what it is. You know what it is. We had a couple things to bring up. What do we have to bring up? What was that band I sent you, Paul? Wigger Slam?
I forgot what they're called,
What?
but with
Just Wigger Slam?
no,
It was like
that's
an inherently Wigger Slam. They called themselves that.
We're just going right out of the gates, aren't we?
Wigger Slam.
Yeah, dude. I want to know what the hell the name. They were called like Jelking something.
is that the one with Peter and Homer on it?
Yeah, it's Peter and Homer dead in the corner while these two Wiggers are like holding they shorties. Oh, it's the split is called Slam Shouties. And
Oh,
the
you guys
band,
saw that too?
Yeah, the band
Yeah, that
the
popped
band
up.
is called Infectious Jelking. Now, do you guys know what jelking means?
No.
I learned this from Oni Plays. This is kind of disgusting. It's when you pull on your penis to make it longer. That's what jelking is.
Infectiously?
Infectious jelking, yeah.
I only know about gooning.
Yeah, gooning too. You see that that other thing I sent you guys, Paul, where it's like a buff minion in McDonald's. What did
Yeah.
it say? It's like never. It says never goon on his shirt.
Joking.
Never goon on this.
I guess that's the educational component of this week's episode.
Exactly. You learn something all the
Yeah,
time.
isn't
We have
it
we have to
No Fat
teach people
November?
something every week.
Guy from that East Coast black metal band could have taken that advice.
What band is that?
guy. I don't know. It was some guy. I remember Jubb talking about him like he like cummed on the.
Oh yeah, and he
shirt
would like
where-
send them
Oh!
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that was Nargaroth.
yeah,
That
yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
No. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, he
I
he
Good old
came on his
Nargaroth.
he came on his T-shirt and sold a T-shirt on eBay.
Wasn't that part of the Semperfli box set?
I don't know.
Pretty sure for the special edition box set of that, he like included personal mementos in the various copies that went out. One of them had like a severed bird's foot or something. Another one was a T-shirt that he had finished on.
Very
So-
personal.
Yeah, yeah.
In the corner of this split, it says like it says like the parental warning.
Yeah.
It says for real wiggers only. So these guys are really embracing it.
yeah. I couldn't listen to it, obviously.
You couldn't listen to it.
Only Wiggers only.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you part of the Wigger faithful?
Paul's more wigger than I am, actually.
True.
Okay.
Well, when it comes to the slam type of wigger.
I'll give it a spin.
Yeah, spoon
give it
these
a-
dudes.
Give it a spoon.
Only a spoonful.
Yeah. All right.
What did you have, son?
What did I have? Oh, I went to some weird ass concert yesterday. That's why we're doing it on a Tuesday instead of Monday. This folk artist, Jose Gonzalez. I thought I was just gonna see him perform some songs, And I get there, it's at some nice theater hotel in L.A. And for some reason, they were showing like a fucking movie that he was like acting in for like 75 minutes, and then they like talked about the movie, and then he played like 5 songs and then that was it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
How long did the whole thing last?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
But most of it was the movie.
Yeah.
What movie?
Well, it was the US premiere of a movie called Tiger in Paradise, which was
I think I've heard of that.
directed by a Swedish guy. His name was Mikael C something, and then the artist Jose Gonzalez. And it was funny because I'm obviously watching the Sammy saga, and seeing her psychosis in real time, or when that was happening. And then this movie was like highlighting this guy's psychosis and shit, and like he was kind
Are
of
there
talking.
similarities?
Well, they were talking about in the interview during, after the filming, they're like, oh, let's get into the themes of this and stuff. And then he's like, yeah, like I used to think like there's like nanobots in my like antipsychotic pills and like stuff
Yeah,
like
she
that.
talks about nanobots.
Yeah, exactly. And then like saying, the obvious like schizophrenic things, like saying like, oh, I was like being watched to like TVs and stuff like that. And I just thought that those things were a bit of a synchronicity, or at least I knew about it a little bit from the Sammy sagas. And then
Yeah,
Machine, son.
yeah, and other than that, they played like 3 songs that I liked, and then the rest were like new. It was just like, oh man, but definitely interesting experience. But damn hot theater, sweating over there.
So you went by yourself?
No, with my girlfriend.
Oh, she was there yesterday, but now she's not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. What else happened in the news? That Aurelian band dropped their EP.
Yeah, that was
The
good.
Yeah.
Unleashed Axe Age guy.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he blew Argoslin out of the water because fucking Terminus just did a review,
I know. I
and
need...
right off the bat, death metal guy's like, it's like this album fucking sucks. So there you go. I mean, we kind of discussed it with him before he actually listened to it, and I was kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
I don't know if Paul, I don't know if your opinion changed on it, but the production really wasn't even a problem for me. It's like the riffing and the songwriting, really.
Yeah, I mean, hearing it with the CD itself, the production was, a bit better.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because, I would expect headphones to be superior to that, but apparently not. And then, listening over again, it's like, yeah, they're kind of doing the same song and dance, but not like really doing anything moving forward or like really impressive anyway. Especially
No, they're
drumming
not.
wise, but it is just like how Fred said, like just a slower paced album.
It's slower paced, but I think that some of the middle songs, like what is it, Terra Nullius and Hyenas, are like over 6 minutes long, and they drag those out too long, and it kind of just like drags the album down a bit overall.
Yeah.
But I think it starts really strong and it ends really strong as well. But that middle bit is what weakens it a bit. But I mean, it's not a bad album. It's just definitely not their best.
Yeah. Did you give it a listen, Cock?
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was like it was meh. I didn't really think about it. I was hoping prior to release they would continue the direction they took on like what was that split with
Marshall Barrage.
Send Forth.
Send forth.
Oh, that
the
was
best
great. I love
E3.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fucking awesome, and they kind of lost all that technical flair, which is fine, taking another direction is sometimes necessary, and I think they could have like achieved something close to like Armored Angel.
Yeah.
Not that they sound alike too much, but kind of this mid-paced, hypnotic riffing with this kind of muffled production. But the Argosolent version of it just kind of does really nothing to me. But I haven't spent too much time on it, so
Yeah.
I
Man, but-
think I said it last week, but I think the album was set up to fail. I mean, people have like 15 years of expectations for this thing. There's no way they were gonna live up to that, no matter what they released.
yeah.
yeah.
I think like a couple of years from now, when people go back and listen to it without expectations on it, they'll be like, yeah, it's good. It's not as good as Hornets, but it's a good album.
I think Death Metal Guy put the final nail in the coffin right there.
Like I agreed with him to the point where like it's fine that they kind of go in a hard. I mean, he said he didn't like that they went in a hard rock direction. He said that would have been more fitting for Grand Belial's Key, but I don't think it's the problem that they are kind of like moving in a different direction. But with a band like this, I feel like being more technical would be like the move to do with this band. But adding some other things in there too, just sticking with the technical stuff.
I think it would have been a difficult task, but they could have certainly kept some of the technicality and slowed the songwriting down. It would have made interesting results.
Yeah.
I think they did slow the songwriting down. The tracks overall are a lot slower than what they did on the last few albums.
No, he was saying
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they
yeah.
would have had the technicality within the slow songwriting, it would have been.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I could see that.
Man, but you brought up Armored Angel, fucking great album, The Angel of the Sixth
Oh,
Order.
Dude,
Yes.
Dude, that's
every
like, go ahead.
no, like everything Armored Angel has released, it's fucking awesome. I've even warmed up to their like first demo in '84,
Yeah.
the heavy metal one. But man, that fucking run of EPs and demos they made, top notch.
No, it really is. It was just, I never heard of him until I think Black Metal Guy talked about him in like an early episode. Let me check him out. And yeah, they're just one of those fucking hidden bands for me that was just amazing. All their shit,
Yeah.
basically.
All I had ever heard
Especially-
was the heavy metal stuff.
Oh, listen to the fucking
Like
album, dude.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, before you actually sent me the
Oh,
album,
okay.
Paul. Like originally, I just knew that the original demo.
Oh, okay.
It was like it's a style you can draw a lot of similarities, especially the bolt thrower. But there's just this quality of like hypnotic atmosphere and mysticism that you can't really find anywhere else. It's really magical. What they achieve with kind of these simple heavy metal or death metal parts is really amazing.
Mm-hmm. And but another topic away from metal that I wanted to bring up was I think I finally clicked. I understand country. I was just
What? Wait, which country? What country are you talking about?
Wow, we really
big
veered
country?
left here.
not big country. You know, like the old shit like Merle Haggard and
Merle Haggard's good.
yeah, Tom Van Zandt. That's just great.
Yeah, Town Van Zandt is good. I heard of them from the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, Waylon Jennings, fucking great too. And then it was because of goddamn SpongeDog.
Sponge Dog, yeah.
Because he brought up the Coffin Shakers, and I was like, oh, let me listen to this. And it's like the Misfits and Johnny Cash, like, you know,
Man.
crashing, and it's
so
great.
so isn't that
I've
kind
not
of like
heard
a
of that name for a
psychobilly thing?
long time.
What was that, Daniel?
I said, is that like kind of a psychobilly thing, like the Necromantics or something?
I don't know. I guess a bit, but it's just a little bit more minimal. I think, especially with I could see the kind of rockabilly style like being adjacent to it, but I feel like it's more country just due to the way the singing and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I know the Coffin Shakers. I kind of just remember like the Cramps and stuff, like the mainstream shit.
Yeah, they're fairly newer band, like 2007 or something. Yeah, they're great. And then
Like any old country albums you would like to recommend to
The Flying
viewers and
Burrito
such?
Brothers.
oh yeah, the Flying Burrito Brothers. I have them on there too.
It's
And
like
That's
that's like hippies, hippie fucking country from the 70s.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's like acid country or something.
Oh yeah, that sounds nice.
You could do some Willie Nelson phases and stages. There you go. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, oh, this is not what I expected to hear from him. But he's always kind of been a go-getter with that sort of in that genre.
Poser Paul, the gay thrash hater.
You know, now the now the country bumpkin.
The country bumpkin.
Bumpkin.
You're like Fuzzy Lumpkins from the Powerpuff Girls, dude. When he becomes the mayor.
Hick.
Dude, did you guys see the last RFI? What was it? Blue Holocaust?
Duh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there. He was talking about like the Giallo movies and
Yeah.
like he was saying he didn't like stuff like Cannibal Holocaust. He even mentioned Green Inferno, which I actually like. Have you guys ever seen that? Green Inferno?
Long time ago.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dank, dude. It's one of them like they go into the they're trying to find like what do you call it? Like natives in the Amazon. They end up just getting like ripped apart. It's pretty
Is that
dank.
the guy that does Hostel and shit?
I don't know. I know
Eli
it's
Roth,
like
wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's him.
yeah, it is Eli Roth.
The big horror guy.
I wanted to tell you something too, Fred, that happened this week. You know,
I'm
well,
listening.
well,
Bring it.
first, I think on Wednesday I accidentally pierced my ear. with a
Why
piece
did
of
you have
metal.
me in particular in mind for that?
Well, because I told Paul already.
Okay.
Hey,
I sent
can't
the
wait.
picture. I sent the picture to the group chat. I was like in the truck doing like I was fucking taking out piles of like car parts and shit, and some piece of metal like came and hit me in the fucking ear. And I'm like, I think I'm bleeding, and I look and it's just like oozing. It's like right on the lobe, so it looks like I pierced my ear.
Nice.
I was gonna say, what's your gauge now?
Oh, I don't know the numbers, dude. And then Thursday.
Size of a
Um,
quarter.
No, it's not like that. I fucking deathcore ear, Oreo ears, whatever. And then on Thursday, this was like midnight. I went into the bathroom and there was a fucking roach on the floor, and I'm like, okay. And then it went under. I was gonna step on it, and then it went under the like cabinet thing, so I couldn't really get it. So I looked in the cabinet for like bug spray, but I accidentally grabbed something called bug fogger. I didn't know what that was. I just grabbed it. So
what the fuck is that?
Okay, it's basically like you're supposed to you set this thing off in a room, you get the fuck out of there, and then it just like fogs up the whole room and kills like a bunch of bugs. That's
Okay,
like when
I
you have an
see where this is
infestation.
going.
Yeah. So I set one of those things off. I have it in my hand. I'm spraying the roach, and I'm like, this thing's not shutting off. So like I'm in the bathroom for a while with this like fogger, and then I throw it outside. And after
Oh
I
my
get
God.
out of the bathroom, I'm like coughing and dying. It's like 12:30 at night. I'm like, and like fucking, my throat feels like it just tastes like poison. Like there's like sharp shit going in there.
God damn.
You're gonna have flashbacks.
I think there's a reason it tastes like poison.
And yeah, because it is poison. That's right, my friend.
That's why they put the circus tents over when they're fumigating.
So yeah, and I said that to the group with Paul, and when I sent the Pure series, like my man can't get a break, and then I sent the next thing the next day. He's like, I told you my man can't get a break.
Stomach hernia, this,
Stomach
and that.
issues, hernia. Yeah. The whole everything is happening here.
Yeah.
Do you think they get the fumigation tents to look like circus tents on purpose?
What? So
like-
you go in there and have fun?
I think it's just the cheapest material, Fred.
No, I think they're trying to give the neighborhood a bit more of a fun look while they're doing it.
Yeah, they put the spotlight on you. You got bugs.
They could put like a big tent with like a fucking skull and crossbones. Would that be scarier?
Like,
Then it'd look like a haunted house or something.
yeah.
I wanted to bring this up too, Paul. Have you ever heard the song "Exciter" from Judas Priest?
Probably, yeah.
It's an old one. It's from '78. Because I remember like way back we were talking about like Angel Witch and kind of the earliest versions of like really heavy metal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Exciter like is straight up a speed metal song in '78. The only difference is like the guitar, the distortion is like barely there. It's kind of like Treblinka distortion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's fucking dank.
That's
Is
cool.
that Sad Wings of Destiny?
No, it's off of Stained Glass.
Stained
I think
Glass,
Sad Destiny
okay.
was even earlier than that. I think Sad Wings is like '76.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Give it a listen.
All right, it's a little late in the show to do. It's a little late in the show to do this, but we have a guest. I mean, you've heard him already. I guess this guy's name's Cock.
Hey guys, I'm Cock. Nice to meet you.
This was kind of a mystery episode or a mystery guest for a while because I didn't know who you were.
Well,
The
I'm
first
Cock.
first half hour of the episode, our listeners are like, "Am I hearing things? Like, who the fuck?"
The fuck is this retard speaking over our beloved hosts?
Making all this noise with his fridge.
I wonder how many people listen and think of the beloved host besides Shannon.
Yeah, only Shannon. And
Shout
Hope.
out Shannon.
Well, you know what? Hope actually listens to all these things.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Shout
Oh,
out
God
Hope.
help her.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for the torture I'm about to inflict to you.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So go ahead and inflict, dude. Who are you? Do you got a band or what's up with all that?
Nope, I don't have a band. I'm just... Okay, so I guess I should talk about how I found you guys, so...
Yeah, dude. Perfect.
Yeah. So, I was searching for paroxysm on the internet.
Good band, actually.
Because, yeah, good band, actually.
Mama.
No,
Oh,
what
Lordy.
happened?
Big ass cigar.
Yeah, fucking big ass cigar.
All these fucking references
jokes.
to internet mutants.
Yeah, the hate bus. You like the hate bus, right?
I do.
Yeah, me too, dude. Listen every Tuesday. It's mostly just been Cobra stuff. Oh yeah, tubes.
Yeah. So to get back to topic, yeah, I was searching for paroxysm because I wanted to listen to them, and second of all, I'm always hoping to find that they've been finally reissued
Oh,
after
yeah.
all these years. And
Yeah,
I'm
still
like
waiting.
tried.
frantically, yeah, I'm frantically searching like every month. Is a paroxysm reissued now, man? Or whatever. And I came across you guys, and you know, you're talking about all these obscure Finnish stuff that I was in. I was like, wow, he's literally me for real.
He's just like me, Patrick
He's
Bateman.
just like me. Yeah, so I left a long autistic comment on that video and started
That we like.
watching you guys. What?
So that's what we like, long autistic
Oh,
comments.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
respond to them all, by the way.
I've done it a few times, even in email form too.
Yeah, that's good. You sent the big list, right?
Oh yeah.
There was one in
Cool.
particular that you sent. I can't. It was one of these like totally obscure countries. Like I think the cover was a dude that was like full of spikes or something. It was like a demo. Does that sound
Full
familiar?
of spikes.
Yeah. It was like the you sent it in a comment.
No,
We're really narrowing it down here.
okay. And,
I should have went back and looked what it was, but
Okay, I'm
Can
just
you,
gonna
can you not have done your research before this? Come on.
You had
No.
a week.
well, I forget things, dude. I had to write down in parentheses poser Paul.
Oh man. Right in
I
my
did
metal
believe
heart.
that comment. I remember that.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. I was like, hey, holy shit, look at this guy taking shots.
Fucking gay thrash hater. Fucking poser Paul. Oh, he does.
Yeah,
this
so,
in this country.
Tell us, dude, what's your like What's your background, or how long have you been into metal in general? I guess. Like, what's your story, man? Go. This is your show now.
Tell us about
Okay.
yourself.
So like
Yeah.
around junior high,
Me
I
too.
think I was listening to whatever. That was
Slayer.
not again. Not that. That came later.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to whatever electronic music or whatever my parents showed me. But one day, my dad came back from work and he started blasting this music really hard and loud, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it turned out to be Gojira, and that really sparked my interest, and I started listening to it too, and I thought it was very funny at first, and that's a sign of something. That's a sign, like if you find it funny, but you're still listening to it. It's like the sign of it's got you by the balls. And he handed me an iPod player with a bunch of like random albums, like Deftones, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, Black Sabbath, and that's where I got my start. And after that, I got more and more extreme, and now I'm here talking with smelly Californians about whatever obscure metal
Excuse
album.
me. I'm a very good smelling Canadian.
Yeah,
Oh, really? That's even worse.
different breed.
Yeah, it's worse, but I still smell good.
It's all that damn
It
snow.
doesn't matter.
I
Yeah.
usually have time to shower before these shows, but I've been at work all day, and I'm still here. So I am
Okay.
smelly. You're right about that. I am in California.
Well,
I
I
usually
everybody
shower
usually,
knows
during
that
the
now.
shows.
I usually do have time to shower, but I just decide not to because I'm fucking lazy.
Whoa. Fucking bad.
And you're ragging on the Canadian?
Yeah, this is a Sigma male tips, something. You could never
Don't shower.
understand. Don't bathe.
That's true. All our listeners out there, please don't bathe.
Yeah, you gotta fix the.
Don't be a
minion
poser, dude.
First.
Keep the
I think-
ambiance to our show.
You know, this is gonna sound poser, but I saw Ghoul back in, I don't know, 2014 or something, 2013, and they like when they were before they went on, they were like announcing the set or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I bet you guys took a shower before you got here." Like that's an own, and I was like, "Oh, I did take a shower. Oh man,
How do you know? How do you know?
I washed away all my smegma. Oh no.
yeah, how do you know?"
Yeah, we're getting into crust territory now.
Oh no. I'm afraid to go there.
Yeah, once you take the jump, you're.
Afraid to go smegma mail.
Yeah, no. I may be a Sigma, but I'm not a smegma. All right.
Smegma mail.
That's a good one. Ugh. Fred, you
So-
got anything going on?
Fred got anything going on?
No, it's been a boring week.
Those are good.
Yeah, like they're relatively speaking, they're good, but it doesn't make for good talk. I have more shit going on next week. I'll be more interesting at that point.
Yeah,
You
Paul,
watched
like you
any
were
shows
asking.
or anything?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
So, have you been to any shows? But the last one you went to was Cannibal Corpse, right?
Yeah, I've got Thorn Spawn, Nuclear Hammer, and fucking Hexafiction coming up. Not this weekend, but the weekend after.
Oh, okay, I see.
So looking forward to that one. There is the Suffocation show coming through here, but I don't know, not feeling it.
The album came out, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, Paul, what do you? Honestly, I couldn't really form an opinion about it. Braff was like, "Why does old Suffocation rule and new Suffocation suck?" And I don't exactly know why, but I didn't like the new Suffocation. What do you think as the more seasoned, like, brutal death metal fellow?
I don't know, man. It just, I don't know. I feel like they're leaning, like, with modern brutal death metal, it's so close to being thrown into, like, deathcore and all that, but, deathcore is just more exaggerated with its, hardcore influence rather than...
Well, deathcore is more like pop, right? Kind of like a pop version of what slam is or
yeah,
could be.
I guess so. It's more accessible than like what slam and like brutal death metal is, and
I think it's obviously more accessible. I mean, because brutal death metal is like disgusting, and most normal people aren't gonna like it. But with deathcore, it seemed like a lot of normal people did like it when it was really popular, like
Yeah.
Warped Tour and things like that.
Yeah, and I think like I don't know if they like caught themselves in that current of like deathcore because I haven't even given a listen besides that video that came out that was something.
That's
to
what
see.
Yeah, that's what I'm going off to.
Yeah, and it's just like it didn't interest me at all, and like the new like Dying Fetus didn't interest me at all. Like I'm not really interested in what these legendary bands are doing nowadays. Like even the Cryptopsy, it's just kind of like
Oh,
they're still
that
going.
Cryptopsy was so dull.
Yeah, it's like they're just still going. It's like the puppy don't put down.
The I only heard the video from Suffocation as well, but the last few albums, the impression I got is that, and this, tell me if this makes sense, but they stopped being Suffocation and just started sounding like Suffocation. It's like just really just phoning it in, basically. And that's like the analogy I always use for Dark Throne on Total Death. Like they stopped being Dark Throne and being pioneers and just started sounding like themselves and not doing anything particularly important anymore.
Maybe
That's kind of how I
putting
feel,
out-
but yeah.
maybe putting out like mediocre kind of material.
Mediocre.
Yeah, like they're I guess it's phoning it in, but like they just they sound like a cover band of themselves at this point, and it's like, all right.
The
Yeah.
cover bands where like the musicians like dress up like the fucking the band that they're covering. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
It's
Ugh.
just hilarious.
Okay.
Led Zeppelin and shit.
Have you guys ever heard of a band called Mac Sabbath?
Yes.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was amazing. Watching videos of them playing is just amazing.
I saw that they were gonna play around here like earlier this year. I was like, maybe, but didn't go. Rather see the
It-
Wizards of Oz.
Yeah, the Wizards of Oz. That's the guy who produces our music. He is or who like does engineering and stuff for our music.
He's
He's the
Ozzy.
lead singer. He's Ozzy. He's Ozzy in a Ozzy cover band, the Wizards of Oz.
What's the fucking weirdest show you've been to? Like I haven't seen Mac Sabbath.
I saw
but-
Love Hate Hero. I don't think anybody knows who that is.
No.
It's like an emo hardcore band. My neighbor wanted somebody to go with, and I just went with them, and it was yes, like not my scene at all. I was just totally alienated.
Well, what I let off the episode with was probably the weirdest, thing. Got kind of hoodwinked into a movie.
Oh, dude, I saw Bad Not Good with Nathan.
Okay.
You remember them? That like jazz kind of band.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I saw them at the
alright.
the Griffith Observatory, where they have like all the art
So we
exhibits
saw
and shit.
Corpic Lonnie.
Corporate Glani was pretty weird. Folk metal shows are pretty weird.
That's
was
because
Corbett
everyone shows
Lonnie-
up wearing a drinking horn.
No, there were. We've talked
Smelly
about
guys.
that. There was guys in kilts and stuff. It was Corpic Lonnie, Tyr, and a band called Mezzotol, who were actually good from
Yeah.
Estonia.
They're great.
They're like groove metal meets folk metal, but in a good way.
Like Corpiclani music video. Them as a wooden pins. I think that's
Wooden
fucking
pints.
hilar- Wooden pints. Sorry.
Wooden
English is-
pins. I like
That
it.
song, the song's about like dwarves drinking pints or something. He
Yeah,
says like they come out of their holes and drink wooden pints and they dance and drink to the morning or something like that.
That was like a. I heard it was like a meme in Japan for a while. That music video.
I didn't know. I just remember the music video for "Keep on Galloping," but he pronounces it "galloping."
Galoping.
I keep on galloping, my black horse. You remember Anthony actually liked that one when he get drunk.
Yeah. Sales, what the fuck is that song called?
The way Finnish people speak English is fucking weird, man.
It's fucking weird, man.
I
look at
can't
it.
get it.
Look at this
Can't
beautiful
nail the
corpse,
accent
man.
at all.
She's beautiful, man. They say man a lot. Eh, man.
Man.
Do you guys know who Rauta is?
Yes.
Yes.
The bald guy who does like interviews and shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
He does these like side videos where he pretends to be drunk, and they're like, Rauta, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, what do you mean, man? I'm drinking vodka, man."
Oh my god. Oh lord.
Yeah, that's a weird
You,
channel.
you guys. Yeah, that's a weird channel.
Sorry, I was taking a drag of the cigarette.
Shit, I want to smoke too. I'm in my fucking house. You guys like your movies, don't you? I haven't watched any at all recently. I haven't watched any shows.
Yeah,
Watch
just-
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm just on Cheers. Made it to
Me too.
halfway point, season 6.
Paul, I'm like recommending Paul stuff, and then Paul brings up that he's watching it, and then it makes me want to go watch it. So that's exactly what I've been doing. I watched the Sammy stream. I'm watching Cheers.
Yeah, it's like the tortoise and the hare, because you like blow past me. Watching
What
it.
kind of thing is Cheers?
Explain it.
That you don't know what Cheers is? It's
No.
a sitcom from the '80s where it just takes place in a bar, basically.
Okay.
Classic.
It's yeah, and then there's like a spin-off, which is where Frasier comes from. If you've never seen Frasier, I'd recommend that too. I recommend them in
Okay.
order.
Yeah, I haven't bothered to watch shows at all. Like the last show I like seriously watched was like Top Gear when Jeremy Clarkson and co were there. That was years ago. I guess the only
Great
thing
news!
That.
The Dacia Sandero is coming to England.
What was that?
What?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Fred loud as a mug.
I'll back off the microphone.
No, it's all right, Fred. Fred, it's okay. You do whatever you want, dude.
The only thing I watched recently was a late night. Someday I was staring at a bunch of H.R. Giger paintings, and I got horny and I jacked off. And,
What?
That's the end of it.
Okay. I think there's some boobage and some vaginal action in some of those paintings.
Oh yeah, like biomechanical terrors beyond
Oh,
my
yeah.
comprehension.
How did we?
Yeah,
How did we get from Cheers to that?
I don't
Cheers
know.
to-
Well, I got.
Cheers
haven't-
from- so
I
you go
didn't
Cheers,
follow
then
that
you go
line.
jerking off to Geiger paintings.
I didn't jerk off to the Geiger paintings. Okay, I got horny looking at
You got horny, buddy.
them. Okay, that's a massive difference. All right.
Yeah, it is.
That difference was not made clear.
Paul, I think I've mentioned this movie to you, Bad Boy Bubby, but you never watched it, right?
No, I haven't watched it.
All right, we'll save it for a movie night or something. Have you guys ever seen Bad Boy Bubby? You know what that is?
I have not.
I am not.
It's an Australian movie, and it's basically like
With a name like that, it would pretty much have to be.
yeah, Bad Boy Bubby. Yeah, it's like this guy who's probably like in his late 30s, who's never left the house, and his mom convinced him that the outside world is full of like radiation and like nuclear waste, and like not like the world has ended.
So it's like
Literally
a fake Cloverfield Lane.
I wouldn't say that. It's not like it's really nothing like that at all. That's kind of just the beginning. He basically just goes out and interacts with the world, and that's what makes a great movie.
It's kind of like being
Cool.
there, huh?
It's kind of like being there. I kind of wanted to compare it to like Buffalo 66, even though that's kind of
That's
different.
That's a great movie.
That is a great movie too.
Yeah, but speaking about Geiger, I was gonna say, have you guys seen the covers for like Oxypligates, Alf Svenson's like other band?
Yeah, there's an alien with big boobs on it.
And that music is interesting too.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's like tech, but also symphonic.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard that, check it out. Fred, you heard this shit?
Fred, you know that,
I-
right?
I know the band, but I don't know anything off the top of my head, and I also don't remember how to spell the fucking thing.
I just looked up At the Gates. The band picture is really terrific.
Yep.
It's Alf Svensson's project. It's like him
Oh,
standing
okay.
there with a big sci-fi gun
shit.
next to like a Halo girl with big boobs.
And her arm is a gun.
Yeah, her arm is a
Okay.
gun.
Okay.
Wow,
The
yeah.
Gates, alien, boobs.
You'll see it. It's the first album.
I'm only getting results for Total Recall.
Wow, that's quite the picture.
Oh, the chick with the 3 boobs is Total Recall.
I didn't realize that he was also in fucking Diabolic and shit like that.
Yeah,
Alf?
I typed in.
Yeah,
I didn't know Alf was in Diabolic either.
Diabolic.
He was in Grotesque. That's
alright?
all that matters.
Yeah, we got Grotesque, and we also, you know what's really weird that I would expect Alf to have been in, but he wasn't? Fucking Liars in Wait, dude. That's just Kristen Whalen.
I thought he was in
Yeah,
there
it
for a
says that
while.
he's in there.
Who, Alf?
Yeah.
In Liars in Wait?
Yep.
No.
That's what it says.
Oh, was he on the fucking EP?
I'm looking at it. It doesn't
He might not have
show.
recorded with them, but I know he was in there at some point.
Oh, okay. So I guess he was in there, but he's not on this EP. That's wacky because the guitar playing on that thing is fucking out there, especially for '92. It's totally fucking out there.
Yeah. What a perfect title for that EP. Spiritually Uncontrolled Art. That just like fucking hits the nail on the head, doesn't it?
I'm your fucking overlord.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
So yeah, dude, what's your preferred genre, or like, I don't know, what's the kind of shit that you're mainly into?
Yeah, especially
Just what's your
being
specialty?
yeah, especially looking up praxism and shit.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm mainly a death metal person, but the weirder like subgenres like early '90s melodic death metal and death and roll and that kind of stuff. Like any old weird death metal stuff. Like I just have a incessant desire to discover and listen to them.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
are.
me too.
I don't know why.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
too many people that I know actually like death and roll.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
Paul, it's like hard for us to find people that are into Pekeni and Zizma and Convulse. Like
Oh,
people
dude,
always,
yeah, holy
yeah,
shit.
people always kind of like poo-poo fucking the death and roll stuff as just like, I don't even know. It's either they don't know it, or they hear what it's gonna sound like, and then they just kind of don't want to
It-
give it a chance. But it's
it's-
terrific. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's kind of a like really thin line band's got to ride because you can easily just drop into alt rock with growls and double bass territory
Yeah.
in some cases. But you know when it hits the nail, it hits it hard.
Yeah, and
It's very good.
with a lot of bands like that, there's a lot of like adjacentness. Like you can't put it in any other category, besides doing like it's experimental, it's progressive or whatever. Like I kind of lump them in with like death and roll, like Belial, where it's just like basically grunge.
Oh yeah, that fucking album.
Yeah, 3, and obviously like Carbonized too. You just say it's like jazz kind of death metal or whatever.
You could
but-
just call it, you could call it prog rock. I mean, even after the fucking Disharmonization album.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially after that Screaming Machines.
I think the problem with death and roll is that for so many bands, it's like an intermediary step, and that's not where they end up.
Yeah,
And
say
they only
that's,
have,
their,
like-
their second album.
Second
Like-
or third.
Yeah, it's like their Growing Pains or whatever.
Yeah. And some of them pull it off, some of them didn't. But I can't think of a ton of bands that went death and roll and actually stayed there.
No. It's mostly like a transition period for
Yeah.
like it's like death doom bands going gothic.
Yeah, I can see that.
Eventually losing their death metal side. It's like kind of
Or like Ceremonium, who like start
Oh,
off
yeah.
Death Doom and then end up going into this kind of almost wacky Argoslent kind of territory.
The Ceremonium from the U.S., right? New York.
The main Ceremonium, the one that everybody likes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
American one.
Like with like Autumn Shadows.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
mention
yeah.
also like one that maybe stuck it through. Well, because Dominus, he started off with like death metal, then they went into like the first 9, and then he just went straight Volbeat after I think another
Yeah.
album.
Then they become a popular rock band.
Yeah. So it's
Who
they
like
just,
I find out later my cousin, like my older cousin, is into, and he was like
Awesome.
he was like one of these guys that was into like skate punk, so like shit like Millencolin and like Bad Religion and stuff like that. He was like, oh, and like Goldfinger and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
hard as shit.
Uh,
He likes his Volbeat.
Probably. I would assume so. I don't think he's into
Yeah.
metal at all. I think he's into like pop punk kind of shit.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that-
can we reissue that fucking first Dominus album yet? Like, what are we waiting for here?
Not yet.
Yes, please. The first 2, anything.
I'd be happy with just the first at this point.
Yeah. A view to the dim, like what a wacky transition from that to Volbeat.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really fucking strange.
It's about on par with Treblinka to Tiamat to what they are now. It's like,
yeah.
Man, but the first 9, that's like, I heard it later than, the Praxisms and Convulses, Ismas. And
Yeah, I
all
didn't
that.
hear it until Paul showed me.
Yeah,
like,
and I just,
maybe like a year ago.
Yeah, I fell in love with it. I was like, damn, this is like the perfect fucking death and roll album.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. Death and roll. It's kind of weird. Like, I guess Carcass kind of. Carcass had a like very interesting idea of it on Swan Song.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's
Like that. I view that as a very like distinctly British album, kind of like this mocking humoristic side. Very
Yeah, keep on
nihilistic.
rotting in the free world.
Yeah, it's very nihilistic and like like using popular music tropes, like reflecting it in a, like a degenerate way against the world. It's very interesting.
Like
Yeah.
almost like a parody, huh? They're just like using their.
Yeah, it's like a musical parody, and it's kind of fortunate that that aspect never really got explored.
Well, they're just always one of those bands that, you know, when started gore grind, they went melodic death metal, then went to this sort of death and roll adjacent thing, and now they're, you know, back to
Sorta,
where they
yeah.
were. And
It's
I think
not-
like
not
Zizma
that
hopped on
death.
that, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that Carcass Swan Song is even that death and roll. If anything, it's more, to me, it's more like a poppier version of melodic death metal.
Well, I think it's just like in that adjacent, you know, field of death and roll. Like I can't lump it in anywhere else besides that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a heavy metal album, utilizing extreme metal techniques.
Yeah, it's a heavy
Yeah,
metal
yeah.
album like that would come out in '96, and it did.
Yeah,
So there you go.
it is a kind of a cobbled together mess, but you know,
I think,
I do like it.
No,
I think
love that
Justin
album.
Horval was talking about Swan Song, and he's like, I like it. He's like, but if anybody knew that back in the day, it'd get fucked up in the parking lot.
He's all, but you know, he's all, you know, one of the first albums, '96. That's when I, you know, started getting into this shit. It's one of nostalgia, dog.
That fucking guy.
Yeah. Justin talking about fucking the spaghetti factory. You get a burger, pretty good. You get wings, pretty good. Pretty goddamn good. Everything on the menu is pretty goddamn good.
And today he was like, "Oh, weightlifting question." He's like, "I know these fucking devils don't like this shit."
Yeah.
There's like half the fucking video on that shit. Guy
Yeah,
wrote-
you're listening to this like these like weightlifting health advice kind of things.
Only 19-year-old versions think Snorguts is goaded and death is death metal
Snort
big
cuts.
four.
Yeah. He's
Like,
all,
he's
awesome,
such a-
awesome album
Yeah.
cover, but
It's a love-hate thing with that guy.
Yeah, he's such an interesting perspective into like a music listener that's completely detached from myself. It's very weird looking at him, watching him, but he's entertaining as hell. I'll give him
no,
that.
He is,
He's a
he
good
is.
personality. So.
Yeah, he definitely is a good personality, and sometimes he even has good recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he already has his own jargon that is easy to
Yeah.
take.
Brah brah.
Fucking posers!
Later, goddammit.
Devils!
And his interviews are fucking great too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that
Especially
shit.
the ones with like Paul Ledney.
Oh yeah,
was
the
very-
saga
that was very-
continues. He's like, we'll do it again.
He gets along with everybody that he interviews.
Yeah. Right, I see him like as the like archetypal based retard.
He's not based though.
I don't know.
I've heard the shit that he said. He's like he probably doesn't have a political stance,
Yeah, he's
but
like-
he's the closest thing is like he's a libertarian. That's like the closest thing where he goes, I
Mm-hmm.
don't give a fuck what you do, but god damn it, pink panty wearing
fucking twink core listening, fucking
twink core, pink panty, tampon boy.
boy.
Yeah, it's that
I
kind of
was-
stuff.
I was thinking more. I wasn't really considering like political association, but you know,
I don't think
kind of a-
I don't think he's into
yeah,
that.
general demeanor. Like he know what he likes, and he has an interesting perspective on things because of that special kind of view he holds.
Yeah, not only that, it's like the fact that he's as old as he is, and kind of he's been around for a while,
Fucking
and some of his old devil. It's like a 50-year-old guy. But I mean, to someone like me and probably Paul, I would assume it's like some of his takes are fucking stupid, but some of it is at least true enough to the point where it's like, okay, I get where this guy's coming from.
Yeah, somewhat respectable, yeah.
Somewhat, mostly respectable, but I mean, I can see where people will be like, oh, this guy's just a goof.
This guy's a
But I
fucking
like
goober,
him.
man.
I like him. I don't care if he's a goober or not. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder
I'd
where.
say
yeah,
I'd say what's up if I saw him at a fucking I don't know, a deceased show. There you go. He always goes
Hey.
to deceased.
I wonder what camp he's in, because seems like he just takes him for the funny bits.
Sort of.
Well, I saw something on Jub's fucking post, like his not Twitter, but it's like the base Twitter, where he's like, "Oh man," he posts a
Fediverse,
video.
yeah.
Yeah, the Fediverse. He posts something. He's like, "Oh man, I actually have to agree with J Dog." So I think for him it's more like a lolcow kind of thing, but at the same time, you sometimes you have to agree with the things he says.
It's a love-hate relationship, I think.
I don't even hate the guy, but sometimes I'm just like, no, wrong, wrong opinion.
I'll be here tomorrow, but you're wrong.
Yeah, but he does genuinely seem like a very personable guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does seem really nice. Like he did that interview with was it Gaza, podcast guy?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Garza,
that
yeah.
was good. That was
Garza?
fine. We talked about that
Yeah,
few
the
episodes
Suicide
back.
Silence. Yeah, that was great. That was very
And it's so funny
entertaining
because
watch.
it's so funny. Like he's so detached from that kind of shit. He doesn't seem to know anything about it. He's like, "You're fucking Chelsea Grant's heaviest shit I've ever heard, man."
Yeah, I don't know. Like deathcore itself has a kind of an interesting history with some of the bands coming out in the 90s that were like a more straight crossover between death metal and hardcore than what got solidified
Yeah.
nowadays.
What are some of those bands? Because I only
Sick
know.
of it all, maybe.
Sick of it all. Ah, fuck. What was it?
Was
There
that the one that was a deathcore band?
like a very popular one was like a what was it? It was one from Belgium. It came from the H8000 hardcore scene, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of
something,
just
but-
alien to all that shit.
Yeah, but I can't remember their names, but there were these bands popping up in the 90s that were kind of like it was like kind of crossover thrash, but with a death metal instead, when hardcore and death metal coming together, kind of like a very, very interesting time for metal.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like a more modern kind of hardcore that actually it's a more modern kind of hardcore, but these guys were actually listening to death metal, so there isn't much
Yeah.
of like a distinction between the two.
Yeah.
I think it was I could have sworn it was Sick of It All, but I'm probably wrong on that. I don't know a whole lot about that genre, but I read an interview with, again, I think it's Sick of Them All. But he was saying like back in those days all those guys were listening to death metal and they basically made music that would appeal to hardcore guys in the 90s and death metal guys to the point where there like wouldn't be any kind of animosity or anything. But then, as
they-
deathcore
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
goes on. And then it starts to offend people with like Suicide Silence and Bring Me the Horizon and things.
Yeah, like at first it was hardcore kids taking in influences from the metal bands they listened to, and now that happened to be like extreme metal, black metal, and death metal, and that
Yeah, and they literally called it fucking deathcore.
yeah, and it was a very apt name because it was literally a crossover between death metal and hardcore. But nowadays, deathcore kind of became its own thing, and to me, it seems like they lost all the hardcore aspects except for breakdowns.
Yeah, I definitely think like the progenitors came and they're just kind of being cloned at the point or at this point,
Yeah,
and then the way that they sort of progress is like adding a little bit clean guitars. Like they'll do that, or like they'll add like metal core vocals, like and with the clean singing on there. Like that's what
And then they go, "Breathe, breathe, breathe, breathe."
Yep.
And they make animal noises or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm fucking gay and my dad gives me boners. Ugh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
You guys heard that Dead Blue Sky album from, what was it, must have been 2000, 2001?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Went over my head.
It was weird. It's basically a metalcore band that wound up sounding like melodic black or death metal, and it's actually really
Oh.
good.
Yeah, dude, you know what? I do know this actually, Fred. Have you guys ever heard of a band called, I think they're called Undying. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
what's his name? The Dungeon Serpent guy always posts about them. But it's like it's metalcore, but at a time when metalcore, even like the Black Dahlia Murder was doing this, but a time when metalcore was taking all their influence from like Swedish melodic death metal. So you get
Yeah,
the
but
breakdowns,
yeah.
but all the interstitial parts are basically melodic death metal. So it's actually kind of cool, even though they're singing about like vegan shit like that.
Yeah, what sets that band apart also is like they took more influence from like the melodies of My Dying Bride, because I think they have a cover of a My Dying Bride song, their album Whispered Lies of Angels or whatever it was. Yeah, so it's kind of like a different melodic content from the like a melodic metalcore you get from nowadays.
Yeah, the Castlevania riffs.
Yeah,
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, I think from like metalcore, it's like I know like Integrity, Catharsis, and like Rorschach and stuff like that too. And I was listening to Dead Guy after Roman brought him up again for me to.
Yeah, I
to
actually
hear.
watched the Dead
Yeah.
Guy fucking documentary after Roman brought them up.
Oh yeah.
It was good. Documentary's good.
yeah, but there's an album I really love from that time of like a hardcore metal crossover. And it's I posted it once on the Terminus Discord, but it's called Barrett. The band name's called Barrett, and the album title's "Smiles Upon the Stroke That Murders Me." It's a very, very great album, and I recommend you all check it out.
You don't hear the keyboards?
Yeah, click, click, click.
Yeah, it's very like a complex, like unusually complex. And you can hear all these aspects of like 90s melodic death metal and like a chaotic hardcore, like a converge and more melodic centered things, like all coming together in this one package. That's a very distinct, unlike
Wow.
anything I've heard before.
That
Yeah.
that
Was-
cover and band logo as a serious case of the 2000s, though.
Oh yeah.
That's
I- yeah.
that's rough.
Yeah, I'm holding the CD right now in my hands, and the inner art for the CD, it's something else.
Oh, is it?
And it's like it's fucking terrible.
You know, though, I love it when bands have a bizarre aesthetic that is initially unappealing and then winds up
Yeah.
kicking ass.
Yeah, but yeah, these guys were kind of very different. They also had like 3 vocalists going simultaneously and trading parts, everything.
Are they kind of like Animosity? If you guys know who that is.
That deathcore band?
Yeah, they were kind of like a
Yeah.
deathcore band, but I remember them being pretty okay.
I think I've listened to them once or twice, but I need to go check them out again.
Paul, you don't remember Animosity, do you?
No.
No?
No.
I think Matt had shown me them. I think when I met him, he was like, we got high one time, and he's like, hey man, check out the Black Dahlia Murder. And I'm like, I don't know. He puts it on. I'm like, you know what? This isn't so bad. This is actually kind of cool. It's not so bad. The Funeral Thirst it's kind of a banger, dude.
I had to review their first album when it came out, Unhallowed.
You had to?
For yeah, it was
Mandatory?
for pretty much.
You guys forced
Did
you at
you love it?
gunpoint?
I didn't. I really didn't. But I did see them live on the Miasma tour, and they were a lot better live.
Have you
Like
s-
the earlier stuff has more metalcore in it, I guess, and that at the time I wasn't as open to it as I would be today, so wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, you're right about that. They were much more metalcore in the beginning. They kind of, I think their singer at least kind of like delved into death metal and stuff, right? That Trevor, what's his name?
I think
Oh,
so. I don't know too
R.I.P.
much about
Trevor.
them, but
Oh, remember when you dislocated your shoulder at the Black Dahlia Murder show?
Mm-hmm. It's always something, god damn it.
Man doesn't get a break.
Yes, man. Yes. I don't think I even got to see them. Or was
Uh,
it during Black Dahlia Murder? I don't even
I
remember.
think it was during them because Dying Fetus was after, and then
Right. I wanted to see Dying Fetus,
we
and
saw
I'm like,
Power Glove.
ow. Yeah. It was like kind of early in the Summer Slaughter thing.
Yeah, like, I gotta go home, dude.
Yeah, they fucked me up, dude.
Black Dahlia Burner, eh? I guess I never got into them. I never given them a fair shake. I don't know. What did they sound like?
They sound like they basically sound like Slaughter the Soul, but with deathcore vocals. That's what they sound like. As of right now, I would say they're probably not worth checking out much. But
Yeah.
Funeral Thirst is a terrific song. That's all I'll say. It's like one of the
Definitely.
earlier ones when they all still look like hardcore guys.
Here's another recommendation, but if we're talking about like really thrashy, mellow death leaning to melodic
Revocation.
metal- No, not that.
Please no. Please no.
Like thrashy melodic death metal leaning to metalcore. There's an album from the '90s called Seven Day Curse by a band called Seven Day Curse called After the Storm. I think that's a very like accomplished version of that sound.
Okay, never heard of these guys.
Well, they got
Yeah,
the
but-
tattoo logo.
Oh yeah, they do. You should look at the band photos.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. I love the collage.
Like the one on oh yeah, and the one on Metal Archives. What was the guy?
There was
it was
there, go ahead.
no. No, never mind. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this reminded me, looking at these band pictures, a band that the dude from Nocturnal Blood showed me called shit. I can't remember the name of the band, but the song was called Wife Beater, and it was a hardcore band. It was like a throwdown hardcore band.
Oh yeah, I think that might
And the
just be
lyric-
called that.
The band's called Wife Beater.
I think so.
It went like, what the hell did he say? He's like, "This is my house. These are my rules. Shut your mouth and make me some food." I thought that was really good. And I think the music video was just that.
sloppy, slimy eggs.
I think the music video was just that, like him smacking his wife around, this big fat hardcore guy.
They won a Grammy, didn't they?
Wife beater? Yeah, maybe. This is my house. These are my rules.
Better listen, bitch.
Well, I think we
Or
should.
that other.
What's it called? Listen to what we're gonna be covering today.
Let's
Oh
do it.
shit! Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, we always do.
Yeah. What are we covering? What are we doing?
All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll do the introduction for this, but
Yep.
we're going on to an anal adventure to the land of our favorite antisocial, whatever, northern people in Finland. The band called Copperphilia. Lovely band name.
They ate the poo poo.
They eat the poo poo
They eat the poo poo
like ice cream.
like ice cream. Yeah, but these guys are from the early 90s and released only 2 demos, or maybe one was officially released and another one was compiled into a compilation. But yeah, so this is my pick for this episode, and let's get started.
Yeah, what song are we listening to?
Anal adventure, brother.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back from that adventure.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucked.
I was really
Thank
playing
you,
the air
thank you,
drums the
thank
whole
you.
time.
You kept up?
Down, 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 down,
It's a fast blast, man.
I screwed up the solo on the air guitar. It was terrible.
Guitar for Hero failed.
You know, right when they started, I kind of made this. I didn't write this earlier, but I was like making this comparison to fucking Cock and Ball Torture.
A little bouncy, yeah.
Yeah, bouncy, groovy kind of chugging riff.
Well, I just straight up think like one of the earliest, Carcass sort of bands, or at least taking that influence from there, along with like, was it Pathologists and stuff? Yeah,
General Surgery.
yeah, because they're
In
really
91.
early too. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, the guitar tone on this actually reminds me of one of the albums that we covered a while ago. Remember Suffocation, Cryptic Existence?
no,
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Yes.
it did.
yeah, that one sucked.
Obviously. It's one of my picks.
No, definitely, it's like dirty, filthy ass sound, but it's just
Oh, yeah.
whenever you hear that, man, it's just I don't know, it just steals the show.
Yeah.
But
So you
Yeah,
said this
it's-
one's from '92, right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's one of the later tracks, so it must be. I was
Okay.
thinking, like, even with this, the song title, it's kind of like an early progenitor of like porno grind.
Sort of. Like,
yeah, even the album or the band name.
yeah. It's
Sure, the
very
band
much in
name.
that- yeah, it's very much in that tradition of early Finnish death metal, like the Zisma strain, I call, or grind rock. But very like Carcass influence and grindcore influence, but taken to this weird direction.
Yeah, and you said that there was a story to these guys, right?
Oh yeah, give me a second. I'm fucking drunk as hell.
It's all right.
Fred, what were you gonna
Okay.
say, real quick?
It sounded to me like early Carcass crashing into Rodervor and Demolik.
It is kind of Demolik-ish.
The vocals, especially.
The lickish.
The
Yeah,
voltage is very low.
But I don't know. But like Rodervor just kept coming to mind. It was
the
God,
liquor
the
from
sound on
Resident Evil.
the sound on this demo, or both demos actually, is fucking perfect. Like it's just such a full, thick sound. Like I love
That's
that.
like old school '90s death metal glory in
Mhm.
full fledged form. Yeah.
This is like my first
So-
time hearing this, guys. It fucking blow me away.
Oh. Yeah, I'm glad you like these guys. Well,
Hold
so,
on, I was just joking.
well, I was already gooning from the start of this episode, so fucking catch up, poser. So I'm gonna read the very, very sloppily the story of these guys from the demo.
Svart Records?
Cassette, yeah, cassette copy. I think this is from what was it? Old Skull Records from Hungary or whatever Eastern European shithole. Okay, let's get it started. Copperphilia was a death metal band from whatever the fuck Finnish bullshit that is, Finland. The band was born as an evolution of the punk band Atoviamat, or Brainless. After a few punk years, the music quickly changed its shape in the direction of grindcore and death metal. Influential bands were EG, Napalm Death, Carcass, and all the other death metal bands of the time. These influences can be heard in the Good Enough for the Boys to Describe... Fuck. These influences can be heard in the band's first demo in 1989. The demo was still made under the name Ivioton, or whatever the fuck Finnish bullshit that is, the Brainless. The musical change caused a name change to in the beginning. Eventually, only Copperphilia was good enough for the boys to describe the band's music. Time was spent in the music room in bassist parents' garage. Conflicts with the parents and the nearby residents simply couldn't be avoided. There was too much noise for many of the residents of that suburban area. The bassist's parents scolded the boys for the noise, e.g., with this immortal line, "You are fucking drunks, all of you." Vocalist Marco Tiny, at least I hope that's it's pronounced, responded correctly from the window of a police car, "You fucking whore, I'm going to kill you." Such encouragement didn't discourage the boys, but training gradually began to be heard in their playing as well. Making songs was an endless stream of inventing riffs and combining them with each other. These songs very seldom returned to previously played riffs. Influences were even drawn from Oriental music. In the first half of the 90s, such a working method created a distinctive stamp in the Finnish death metal scene. Alright, I'm gonna stop there. That was fucking atrocious.
No, that was good. I liked what they said about, like, you know, putting riffs together and not, like, coming back to them, you know? And not doing, like,
Yeah.
a traditional song structure. They're just like, all right, let's do this fucking sick part. And,
Yeah.
you know, progress that way rather than, like, oh, here's the sick part we did earlier, like, a minute ago. It's back. It's like, give us something new. And this is exactly what they're doing.
There's a method to the madness. So, to
You know,
kind of... yeah,
the
go ahead.
part about what was it? Oriental influences or whatever.
Yeah.
The first tracks, Dream of whatever, and Pyramid
first demo,
Fetus.
yeah.
On both of those, I noted like the riffs, especially at the beginning, sounded very Middle Eastern, and that was a really cool effect.
I know you like
It-
that.
Oh, yeah.
It takes you out of it, but not in a bad way. You're just like you're listening, like where is this coming from? And then just like goes straight into what they were doing before. No, it's a weird incorporation, but it worked. I don't even know why it worked, but it did.
Oddly, there's kind of like this Oriental thing going in Finland. I kind of noticed this and commented on the Lycathia Flame music video, but there were like few Finnish bands using like Oriental melodies in the 90s. Like the obvious one would be Amorphous on their like third album, but there was like As Serenity Fades.
Oh yeah, totally. They even had a song
Yeah.
called Oriental.
Oh yeah. And other bands I can't remember right now, but
I was thinking of
There-
Dromalek maybe,
sort of, yeah.
like on the Psychostasia album.
Like it's very weird. Like these guys came from punk background and kind of evolved into this technical grind, like bouncy semi-technical death metal very quickly.
Good technical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wielded very interesting results.
Yeah, because that cover, when I look at it, the cover art, that little skeleton guy, he looks like a fucking like something you'd see on like a punk rock cover or something, you know? But,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a mohawk, right?
Yeah,
Kind of reminds me of the Slaughter, Surrender or Die.
yeah,
Oh, they're a Mohawk chainsaw guy.
Yeah.
yeah. So I can definitely get the punk vibes from here, but obviously with the tie to grindcore, it's always gonna be in there, and they're just probably just going more and more extreme. But I wonder, you know, if they were like listening to Carcass, because I know you name dropped a couple bands, but no mention of them. But it seems like a lot of
No, I think they
Finnish
straight up
bands-
said oh no, they said Napalm Death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they say Napalm Death Carcass,
Oh, okay.
and there was another member that came in the second demo, and I think he was into like Sepultura and stuff.
Hmm.
I like how they also said every other death metal band of the time. They were influenced by everyone.
Was that a little bit of a cop out? But okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Hey,
guy
like-
who came in, sorry, the guy who came in was he was influenced by Sepultura and Influence, or fuck, Sepultura and Entombed were Nico's favorite bands.
Hmm.
That's what it's written.
Yeah, there's like one particular D beat part that's exactly entombed.
Yeah, it's like this very interesting mishmash of influences, but it's also very distinctly Finnish at the same time.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, like Fred said, kind of the like Arabian kind of that I don't even know, like Egyptian kind of sound maybe. Fucking what's Excrement kind of does that too on their first demo, like
Yeah,
in the intro, the corpse
Yeah.
fucking art.
I think the guys from Terminus called it like the Snake Charmer melody, and it's very it's
exactly.
it's utilized in a very obvious manner on like the first demo especially, but they make it work. It's very like a groovy and fun way, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I was kind of commenting on the groove a little bit. Like I just picked up on maybe Cock and Ball Torture, but also I was I was also kind of picking up on some of the groovier, more like cowboy riffs of fucking Terrorizer from the World Downfall album, like the Fear of Napalm riff. You get kind of these like cowboy
Yeah.
type riffs.
Yeah, it's
You know,
Yeah.
when I had heard this band before, but I never realized exactly how much Carcass influence they took. Like when I thought of this band before, kind of re-listening to them, I was thinking of a few Finnish bands that kind of have this very stripped, like even though this music is technical, there is a sort of stripped down version of like say Monstrosity or Cannibal Corpse or something that the Finnish band, like some Finnish bands were doing,
Yeah.
where it's like it's death metal kind of in its very purest form. I was thinking of Funebre as one, and probably the most apparent one would probably be Monstrosity from Finland.
Oh yeah.
Interment
Definitely.
probably. I think that's like some same members of Funebre. Festerday maybe. Pestigore. Pestigore would probably be another one. And also Carnifex to an extent too, because they're kind of doing the mix of a very stripped down type of death metal and the more techie side of things.
Kinda, yeah.
And one thing that came to mind when I was listening to this was that EP from Mordecus, Three-Way Dissection.
Oh, dude, same here. I wrote the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With the sick ass vocals on there, and that they
Yeah.
do have a bounce and shit like that. So it's like that's just what I heard when it came to it. Obviously, the huge Carcass influence was what jumped at me. I was trying to go a bit deeper, and that's what I came up with.
Yeah,
Mordecus is
this
just a
bit-
band that doesn't get enough love.
Dances from the Left is a fucking classic, on par with all the Swedish bands. I'm gonna
Down,
fucking
down,
say that.
dun, dun, dun. Down, down, dun. You know what I mean? It's fucking dank stuff. They even do those
And
like
I know
slidey
I know
riffs.
it's instrumental, but I love Cybernetic Summer. It's
Yeah,
such a-
Cybernetic Summer fucking rules.
it's fucking great.
Yeah, people tend to call like the Swedish album from Finland, but in my eyes, it's very distinctly Finnish.
Is that my goddamn microphone that's making that noise?
I think so.
Is it really? Sons
Might
of a
be
bitch.
me. I'm fucking in shambles and trying to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, do what you
I-
gotta do, dude. No problem.
I'm trying to smoke a cigarette from my fucking window, but I don't know. I fucking cracked the CD case on my Barrett album.
Oh, really? Damn it.
That cost me $20.
Oh man, let's get a new jewel case. You can get the inserts on a in there.
Like like 5 hours from this podcast.
Whoa.
I'm gonna-
Holy shit.
Whoa.
I'm trying to figure out, is that me? I don't think my mic's ever made that noise
No, that's
before.
not you.
Okay.
Like 5 hours from this podcast, I'm gonna realize what I did. I'm gonna fucking regret it.
No, you're
By
fine.
being on the
my life.
podcast. Yeah, dude. A lot of those like slidey kind of I talked about this on the with like the deranged episode. They do a lot of these like hammer on, kind of Demulich too.
Yeah.
Fred
Yeah.
was right about that. Demulich does a lot of these like hammer on things. So yeah, that's a very carcass and deranged type of thing to do. There was
Like,
another band that I want you guys to look up. They're called Rot
Oh,
from
yeah.
the U.S.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know who that is? You guys are already ahead of me. Okay.
I think you brought him
I'm
up last
looking.
time.
Did,
I'm
no, I
looking it
didn't.
up. I'm looking it up in my head right now.
Yeah, here they are. Look at their band picture. It looks great. Where they're in
Oh,
the
wow.
cemetery, and you have
Wow,
that like
that's
Chinese
sexy.
guy on the left.
Well, now I'm gonna have a boner right now.
Somebody described these guys as like Impetigo mixed with fucking Beharit vocals. But again, these guys have a really dirty, slidey kind of carcass sound.
Like another aspect I want to talk
Uh-oh.
about is the
Lordy.
drums. Drumming on this is fucking great. Like it's very bouncy, but the way the guy utilizes blast beats, it really alters the riffs in a very distinctly old school grindcore way that you don't find in modern bands.
No, you don't. It's extremely fucking groovy. And I wrote bouncy too, dude.
Yeah.
No, just the blast beats, like they're just so goddamn fucking fast. They're like up there with like Pete Sandoval's fucking speed at the time, you know.
Yeah.
And then just having like the weird like syncopated like snare hits on like that one bouncy riff just like makes it all, you know, put together, like how we were talking about on the last episode with Lord Blasphemy, where they have, you know, those little open parts during the riffs where the drums can like, you know, peek through with a little complexity. That's exactly what they're doing here, but in a different context. Instead of like melodic, it's like a groovy riff that they're doing it with, and it's, you know, I loved it when I just heard this again right now. I was like gooning over that part.
Yeah.
It's kind of bringing like an atmosphere into it. If anything, that's something I would compare it to like Mordecus too, because Mordecus has a sound like this, but they also have a big atmosphere with them, which I think this band does too.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
epic yet filthy,
Yeah. It,
like a
really-
less filthy Rot.
it really propels the music forward, which is something you don't find in modern death metal bands, because the way they utilize blast beats, it's kind of this thing that happens in the background that's supposed to propel the music, but you have this like those pedal tone riffs, melodic pedal tone riffs that just kind of float above it, and there's really no synergy behind it. But these guys, they might not be at the speed of modern drummers, but it feels fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, with the modern bands, it seems like it's more of like keeping the BPM on like a click, rather than like, you know, trying to be extreme. It's like, oh, you know, if we're playing death metal, we have to blast.
Yeah.
Versus like these guys are like, you know, coming from like that punk background, just like obviously with a lot of energy in it, and they evolved into, you know, death metal and this sort of like grindcore-ish, you know, direction.
Yeah.
Which calls
Well-
for that, you know. It has that technique in its, you know, DNA and shit.
They're not doing it out of any implied obligation, right? They're just doing what feels natural.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing any of this because it's, you know, it's all just will.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
make fast, eat good.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
It's almost like the whole band has to keep up with each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they're tight though.
they're very fucking tight. But like you look at their
That was a slur right there.
their
Yep.
they You look up their original punk band, and you can find some like shows back in the day. I don't know if that's them, but like it's kind of sloppy but punkish. But like right here, they're fucking tight as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like
In some of those like Carcass sliding hammer-on riffs, they don't exactly do it in a way that's expected. They kind of add like these little palm muted like almost suffocation things like so they'll be like like there'll be things added in there that just makes it way
Yeah,
more
and-
fucking complex.
and the drum fills also do the same thing, like with that, and that really adds to the atmosphere, really propels it.
Yeah, I don't know what song you were gonna pick next, but I took notes for like the song "Missed Abortion." It's a
Missed
good song
Abortion.
title. Yeah, but there were parts in there that were kind of like again, like you guys heard in the song we just heard. There's a lot of like breakdown kind of things, like interesting sort of breakdowns for as early as this is, and they kind of reminded me of like industrial death metal, like Godflesh or Pitch Shifter or like Skin Chamber or something like that. There's a ton of like industrial atmospheric moments like sprinkled throughout this thing.
Yeah, like,
Like both
behind
demos.
behind the death metal grindcore intensity, there's like a real interesting melodic content that comes from this oriental music that they develop in the 92 demo. Like on the 91 demo, it's very obvious, but like the oriental music influences. But on the 92 demo, you can tell they like digested it and they're morphing it into something of their own.
Yeah, instead of just like regurgitating a scale or something.
Yeah.
I think they might use those in those like Doom sections because I was really interested by some of those Doom sections, but I couldn't exactly pinpoint where they were coming from because of the lead guitar. The lead guitar kind of it almost sounds like a keyboard in certain points, which makes it sound even more like Oriental. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
Well, I was
I
gonna
don't
say, maybe we should get into the second song after. What were we gonna say, Cock?
Shit. What should we do?
I smiled, but I didn't laugh when you said cock.
For professionals.
I guess
Admirable.
we can
I
do.
didn't-
I guess we can do 3 samples, right? We'll have time.
Yeah, that's good. This shit's good enough.
Okay, so let's go to the first demo
Yeah.
from 91. Let's do Giblets.
I'll hold my laughter during Cock, but Giblets it gets me. Every
Dale, you giblet head.
time. All right, we'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back.
Man, that ruled.
All right, guys.
Good pick.
So what do you guys think of it?
Definitely a stark difference from what they were doing on their second demo. It seemed like more primitive in a way, but it they had a desired sound that they nailed, I think, there, but refined it more so in the second demo.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you guys ever hear of a band called Poppy Seed Grinder?
Yeah, the gas
They're
mask
like-
one.
They're like
I
gore
heard
grind
of the
band.
name.
They have a song called Concrete World, and the intro riff is a lot like that, and both vocalists sound the same, and they both say die right when like the drums kick in. So it's like die.
Yeah, I love those
So, yeah.
vocals.
Totally reminded me of that.
Vocals are great. What's with like all these Finnish vocalists in the '90s and having like really low, disgusting growls?
Apparently, Demilich is the first to do that. So I've read in like
Yeah.
some fucking magazine.
Then in a beer magazine.
I read that in a beer magazine.
No, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like all the Finnish bands just had like really deep ass vocals and shit. But I think all the
Yeah.
like Carcass clones, took it even further to like this sort of thing. Like county medical examiners where they
Yeah.
have like the three vocalists, but they have the one that's like this particularly. But hearing it so early, 91, really interesting.
Yeah, like the guys from that Agnize demo from somewhere in the '90s called
Oh
Gods.
yeah, yeah.
I think you guys heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have
that
the
also
fucking,
had really
cassette.
low vocals.
I have the CDR the band put out.
Yeah, I think those are my favorite type of death metal vocals. Not the ones that are like, but the ones that are like,
Like, they're very dry, but
they're
have this,
whispered almost.
Yeah, they have this croaking quality. Yeah, that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of.
remind me
I
a bit
was-
of remind me a bit of Beherit actually on Dawn of Satan's Millennium,
Oh yeah.
especially the actual title track when he just basically belches out Millennium.
Yeah, Paul told me we were gonna have a guess, and I didn't know you were gonna pick. And then when I found out what the pick was, I was really happy about it, just because I think probably
Right.
Finnish old death metal is my go-to for like the metal genre in general.
It was a very interesting scene because you have these kind of like grind rock Zisma influenced bands like Mordecus and Disgrace and everything, but after that you had all these melodic bands, and in between there's these like weird specialities that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah, there's a few that like. I mean, this isn't totally a carcass worship type of band. I mean, it is, but not to the point where it's.
Carcass
Like lame?
appreciators.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple others that I came up with, like Crematory from Sweden, kind of does this a little bit, real groovy.
Yeah.
Necrony, I think they were from Sweden.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you know who else do that? I haven't heard anybody talk about too much lately. Traumatic, the demo
Oh yeah.
or
Oh,
the
yeah.
original demo.
The German band, right?
No, Traumatic from Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah,
Oh, that
it's-
band. Okay.
Yeah. The reek of I forget what it's called. The reek of corpses or some shit. I don't fucking know.
how about
Whatever brutal
you guys
shit
know
it is.
Necrophil from Poland?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
So they released a death grind album in like '93 called Cannibal Sex. The cover is fucking great. But they had a demo from '89 called Mega Necromancy, and that would pretty much fall in line with what we're thinking here. Really good band. They didn't last long. Well, no, they lasted long. They were around for a while, but they only released that demo in '89 and the album in '93.
I'll make sure to check them out.
I think everyone on this podcast would enjoy that.
They
But especially look up the album cover to Cannibal Sex. It's great. It's like a zombie in the mirror and another zombie from coming up behind them grabbing their chest. It's something.
I'm just a zombie in the mirror.
It's like that Mortician, was that compilation or full length of that woman that's rotting in hell, but she sees herself as normal or whatever. I don't remember what it is, but
I
I
gotta look that up.
imagine it's like
some of these like more Carcass slidey riffs also remind me. I mean, we talked about Lubricant already, but in particular, I think it might have been a bonus track because I have the fucking LP and it's not on there. But track 5, Expulsive Gastrocopia, that one's just the entire song is straight up like these hammer-on kind of things in a death and roll kind of way that like stop and
yeah.
start. And I think that this band kind of I I could assume they probably were influenced by Zizma, right?
Yes. I'm sure they were like pulling from the similar pool of influences, but
Yeah, because I
That's
mean,
the-
you have all the '90s, like some of the things we mentioned already, like general surgery and like the necrology thing.
yeah.
But I mean, what do you have that like comes out later that this I don't know about influence, but at least kind of keeps up the same trajectory with Gore Grind. I feel like Ghoul kind of, in a certain sense, maybe in a faster sense, kind of does this. I know people aren't huge fans of Ghoul, but I like them.
Impaled and
Yeah.
exhumed
Fright,
and shit, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Frightmere, Splatterhouse,
Hmm.
like Lord Gore, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gore Rotted has anything to do with this, but maybe. Does Gore Rotted have anything to do with Carcass?
I don't know. I always consider them more of like BDM or something. But it's how close that shit is with Gore Grind.
They seem to be a more fun, brutal death metal band, like
Yeah.
kind of in the vein of Frightmere and like the Razorback Records kind of shit.
I really like what pharmacists have been doing. I know they're strictly speaking pathologist worship, but pathologist was carcass worship anyways, so it kind of works out.
Yeah.
Pathologist from was it the Czech Republic, right?
Yeah.
From Nippon. I thought they were from
Yeah.
Japan, no?
Pharmacists are from Japan. Pathologists are
pharmacists.
from
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, pathologist. Oh, okay.
Because have you seen the cover to Pharmacist's first album? It's just
Yeah.
like they basically reproduced the first Pathologist album.
Would Dead
Even the-
Infection kind of be in this camp too? Just way faster.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
I don't know, like I feel like a real connection to like Disgrace to this band.
I feel a connection too. Oh, to Disgrace. Yeah, maybe.
Like they utilize the same kind of drum beats, like tun, tun, what was it? But like this kind of bouncy death and roll thing that was a thing in the Finnish underground at the time. But where Disgrace went into this kind of abstract territory, this band kind of went into the real reality, I guess, kind of propelling force of death and degeneracy.
And the poo poo.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's an interesting comparison because like Disgrace, that first album,
Yeah.
it really is like more surreal, and even with the
Oh, yeah.
music, it's kind of like hard to pinpoint. But they
Ha-
they do the death metal thing, but in a groovy way, not quite death and roll. But eventually, I think they kind of get there with like with a Superhuman Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And, like, Volume
Lost
2.
second album. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Lost
yeah.
second album. Yeah, but like Disgrace, that's another interesting band. Like, have you ever read their lyrics? I don't
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
think I have.
but it's like very it's abstract as the music. It's very interesting.
On Grey Misery, you mean?
I think I actually like the Lost second album more than the first. Is that crazy?
Somebody speaking Chinese.
Whoa. Rude.
How is that rude?
Man laughs and goes away. That's what the lyrics are.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back.
After a mystery incident.
Yep.
Mystery guest, mystery incident. Boy, so many
Paul's
mysteries are
microphone caught
unfolding.
fire.
For a second, I heard everybody's microphones going.
Happens.
So where were we? We were talking about Disgrace and everything.
Oh, the lyrics of Disgrace.
Yeah, they're,
Yes.
they're very weird and introspective, but also depressive at the same time. That's very Finnish.
I think the Finns need to cheer up a bit.
I've heard that they're very depressed.
No, like I've heard that they like at the bus stop they stay away
Yeah, you have to
from
like
each other like 5 feet.
yeah, they have a social distancing, culturally.
Yeah. Fucking blood memory or something.
They've been social distancing since before it was cool.
Yeah, the hipsters
Yeah.
got onto it.
I remember seeing some really bizarre meme that like people probably wouldn't understand, and it was like the different races of Sweden, and one of them was basically a Finnish guy, but it was like called Sami, Sami. You ever heard of that? Yeah, the Sami tribe, where I think they're kind of Asian a little bit, or something like they're like Native American. There's some kind of natives or something like that.
I don't know. All the information I got is like they're Mongolian wraith babies or something.
Yeah, something like that. So there was the Sami people, then there was like the pure born Swedes who like rule, and then there were like this Germanic tribe that goes into Sweden, where they're kind of it was like a guy who's kind of cross-eyed, he's bald, and he just looks kind of. It said like the characteristics were like hardworking, this and that, and it's so funny. Like I work with two Swedish guys, like selling car parts and stuff, and the guy who runs the operation, he's a purebred Swede, and then his worker is like one of these Germanic dudes. And I show my dad, I'm like, dude, that's Bjorn and Michael. He goes, oh my god, it is.
Found the
It's
meme,
like
huh?
you don't understand it until you actually meet these people, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. But then you also have I guess was he black from Entombed, the guitar player?
IDK.
I don't think he's black, but
He's brown.
Well, like the guy that I saw yesterday, Jose Gonzalez, he's Swedish, but like I guess his parents fled to Sweden from Argentina during like a war down there, and
There was a
that's how
war in
he's over
Sweden?
there. No, in Argentina.
Hey.
So they fled to Sweden, and that's how that happened. So maybe something in that case.
That's where Adolf was hiding out, right? Argentina.
You tell me.
I don't know.
Remember that
this is
clip
only
from
a
The
rumor.
Simpsons? Remember that clip from The Simpsons when Bart accidentally dials Argentina and gets Hitler's car phone? Eine Minuten. Das Carphone ist ein Nuisance-Phone.
I don't know if I remember any other like Hitler references in cartoons. I think in the Venture Brothers, like
I got one after you.
Hitler's brother or Hitler's soul like gets transferred into a fucking like dog or something. You remember that? I think that was the episode with like the Scooby Doo kind of parody, where it's like the guys from Scooby Doo and they're all like in their 40s. And Daphne's like, Fred, when are we gonna go to my parents' house? He's like, we've been on our way for 20 years.
Well, one I have is Aqua Tween, where he's like,
Oh,
the balloon Hitler.
the balloon Hitler, right? I
in
remember
my personal gas chamber.
that. My personal gas.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force was a work of art. What an
Yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
show.
And wasn't he trying to like find out what celebrities were Jewish or something? And he goes, what
Oy
about Tom-"
vey.
He goes, Tom Cruise, Ham Juice. And he goes, what about the Will Smith, Big Willie style?
Yeah.
So fucking stupid.
Our friend, one of our friends is like a really good artist, and one of the guys that we know had like a whiteboard in his room, and he drew the balloon Hitler from Aqua Teen, and his girlfriend made him erase it. We're like, what the fuck, dude? It was like up there for years.
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you erase balloon Hitler?
Uh,
Come on, babe.
should we get into the last song
Yeah.
from this?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Alright.
Which
Let's
is
do it, boo boo.
Let's do it, baby.
So what's the last one?
Anal.
You already do the anal, alright? Calm down.
We need to watch how we phrase.
I'm crying now.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, dude.
Yeah. Shit. What was I gonna pick? Is that
One of the songs.
diarrhea fan? Yeah. No. Mycotic diarrhea and methysaphic nausea.
Nope, not getting out of this chair.
All right, let's listen to that one. back, and we were just talking about Cats the Musical.
Yeah. Do you like Cats the Musical? Leave a comment. Like, subscribe, Telegraph, Twitter.
Don't.
Telegram, tell your mama.
Smash that subscribe button and tell us whether or not you like Cats the Musical.
Smash that subscribe button.
And smash it.
But yeah, that breakdown, the one like kind of towards the beginning where it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it was like
That straight up sounds like fucking Forest by System of a Down. They have it fucking they do have a breakdown that sounds like that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Skynet's gone live.
It's tapping into a lot of things. Like I said previously, I don't know if this is whatever, but like Giblets or Giblets, that song really showcased all of the elements that were present in Copperfilia's sonic palette, and this kind of this song expands on it in a way that's very interesting.
Yeah, like this is their second demo, so they're a little bit more refined with what they're doing. And with the Giblets, they had everything at their disposal. What they're gonna be using as tools for these songs and shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just hear it, way more refined version of it, on this song.
Yeah. You have the groovy riffs in the start, and those death metal parts come in, and the turn up happens. I like the solo, just like Giblets, and but right here they've digested their influences in a way. They made them very Finnish, I think.
Yeah.
I was saying like
Weird ass Doom section too.
yeah, that Doom section is so fucking cool. You said it kind of just stems from like Oriental melodies. I didn't like when it comes to metal bands. I didn't exactly know what to compare that to, just because the melodies were so upfront.
Yeah,
But
the
it's
leads were
terrific.
really good. They were great.
Yeah, they're very off kilter kind of melodies. On the first demo, they're very upfront and consonant, but right here there's like a certain note choices that make it just offbeat in a way. It's a very death metal, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's not like Dissidents in like the sense that we know it now,
Yeah.
But yeah, just the way that they're doing like the whammy parts and shit during that Doom section, it just reminded me of some cats singing, and it was like, and like SpongeBob was like meow 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 meow
Meow meow meow meow.
Gary!
Yeah, and then Patrick throws the fucking shoe at Squidward in his snail form.
yeah.
And SpongeBob's like at the door, he's going meow, meow, meow. It's like scaring the fuck out of Squidward.
Stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, that is nightmare fuel.
Right?
The beginning of this song, like I said when we were playing it, it's totally like Ruptured and Purulence from Symphonies of Sickness. A lot of these like groovy breakdown things where the drums kind of don't stop, but the guitars do.
Yeah, there's a lot of like stop start like dun 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 type of riffs and shit throughout here.
Oh yeah. That's kind of a lost art nowadays.
Lost Shark.
Lost art. Momo.
Mom, yeah.
Momo.
I didn't know that was there.
Or like that video where the kid's taking a shit and he's like playing Call of Duty or something. She's like, "Go to the bathroom." It's like, "No, not yet." She's like, "You're shitting. Go now."
I'm not done listening to the song.
Yeah, but
It's
like
real.
abrupt transitions are kind of a lost art nowadays. Everything's so consonant, and there's these interstitial parts that connect the riffs. But old death metal bands have this way of connecting parts, but with abrupt transitions that still maintain the atmosphere and the theme of the songs.
Yeah, definitely. It's like way more like jarring transitions. There's like dun, let's go into like something else, a whole different tempo change, or go from a chug part to like a melodic lead, or just breaking out to a solo, or that doom section that they go into.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, you know what? We got to slow down to that tempo. We got to get there.
The fact of these musicians being so young too is really jarring. Like the fact that they can accomplish stuff like this at like 18 years old is that's jarring in itself.
Yeah, and for being this
Yeah.
early too, they had a lot of
Yeah.
like studio, tricks on the leads at least from what I'm hearing, and like what you were mentioning earlier with like some of the keys, some of the guitar leads sounding like fucking like keys and shit.
I'm gonna take a bath real quick, guys.
Oh shit, you can hear that?
I was gonna say too. Oh, dude, you know who this reminds me of too? I forgot to mention Necrobiosis from Finland.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Oh, you guys love that band, don't you?
Hell yeah.
God.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Ah, fuck. Pissing feels so good.
Oh, is that what that is? I thought it was the fucking bathtub running.
It's better than.
Oh, no,
nothing
no,
in
no, no. That's pure fucking piss.
Heavy stream.
Oh, dude, you know what's funny in the Sammy thing? Sammy Saga, he was like taking a piss, like talking, and they're like, weak stream.
Weak stream.
He was, I'm not just gonna leave her, guys, and like, chat's just like, damn, weak stream, bro. That was a
Are
good
you
stream.
Sorry.
still on? Are you still on night one?
Night
no,
one?
I'm on night 2.
You're on night two. She gets really scared at one point. She's like, "Oh," she goes, "Oh, what you're doing? It doesn't feel right." He goes, "No, no, 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 no."
Yeah, now he's like, they just got groceries.
So they went to the market already,
Yeah,
right?
They just got groceries, and right now they're back at.
Well,
their
somebody
place.
started blasting the N-word while they were in Walmart, and he had to
Yeah.
run around. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Oh, some of these other like
Rape.
these, yeah, rape, yeah, at the Alex Jones rape theme.
Yeah.
Rape. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I was gonna say some of these like faster grindcore moments, like the really fast ones, they're at such super speed. They reminded me of a punk band from England called Rancid Hellspawn. You guys ever heard of them?
This is
Anybody?
sir.
This is a metal podcast.
I know it is, but this is a band I feel like metal guys would like. Rancid Hellspawn. They basically sound like a band like the Jam, sped up about 30 times speed, with no guitar. They're only have like Casio keyboard things. They had songs like "Eat My Yellow Banana," "Festering Pus." What else did they have? Oh, "Sex in a Butcher Shop."
As one does.
Yeah, terrific band, dude. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say about this song in general. I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
Me too, buddy.
Well, we
Alright,
guys,
now it's
any
up to Fred.
final thoughts on this release?
Seems like a good time for it.
All right, well, go ahead, Paul.
For something that I haven't heard, this is, surprising, but no surprise, it's from Finland, It's the shit that I love, especially, like, just weirder metal in general. But this toes, like, a line of, like, being a carcass worship band, but, like, how, Cox said that on the second demo, they're, like, a little bit more... they're a little bit...
My main man, Cock.
Yeah, they're a little bit more, digested with their influences and, coming up with the sound of their own, with these, Arabic melodies and just the whole, I don't know, just like how we were saying, like how they transition from moment to moment in these tracks. It's just like really like jarring, but it's like what they said in their bio, like they're never like returning to a riff. They're always like progressing forward and I heard that through all the samples and the rest of the album when I was listening to it this past week. And yeah, thanks for showing me this shit, Cock.
No problem, bro.
Freddie.
Who's going next?
Freddie.
Yeah, I'll go.
Does it suck?
You know,
He only says that for the first sample.
Okay.
That one's
I have my ways. I work in mysterious ways.
Serious, but the same each episode.
Yeah, mysterious but very predictable.
Why does he keep doing this?
No one knows.
That's what Shannon's asking.
No, but this demo, well, I guess demos, musically they're great. But what really does it for me is the production on these. the guitar tone, the depth of the vocals, just the way everything sounds put together, complements that jarring tempo switching, the carcass worship. Uh, that's what really glues it together for me, and that makes it go from a good death metal demo or demos to something really extraordinary. I'm really wishing they had gone on to do an album. I'm really curious to see what that would have sounded like if they would have been able to keep that up or not. But
Yeah.
I'm also not mad about it because as it is, they've left basically like two near perfect demos. So I'm fine with where we're at.
Hey, Cock, you mentioned like the vocalist
Yeah.
doing like other bands and like having that same sort of tone with like black metal. You want to like go into that a little bit?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I wanted to hear
I
about that.
Well, the vocalist from this band featured on another band called Unhola, which is a very melodic black metal band with the guitarist from Follow the Leaf.
Oh, I love that band.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah,
excellent.
they have that song Cold Java.
Yeah, but this guy had a particular way of doing his vocals, but he never bent it for any genre, and that really added a uniqueness to it. He also was in a black metal band called AN with they had a single album, and that's another very, very interesting release, and I recommend the listeners to these episodes check them out if you're listening to this point.
Yeah, Shannon.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shannon.
No, I definitely want to check this shit out.
Sha-na-na.
So Inferno, the album or the demos? Check it out.
Inferno, the demos and all, but I recommend their first demo especially. Whatever the fuck Finnish bullshit that is, but yeah, their demos are very good, and it's great. It's great metal, and especially check out Follow the Leaf.
Yeah,
Their
do
first
that.
album, their first two albums are absolutely excellent, and they also have demo material that wasn't finished from that era. That I would sacrifice all the members from Obsequiae in a satanic blood ritual to make it come true. So that's it.
Dan, you want
Who's
to
the
give your
next
final
person?
thoughts?
Dan, you're
I
fine.
guess I would say if there was a band I would compare this to the most, besides like the Carcass stuff, if you're into Funebrae, check this out because this reminds me a
Yeah.
lot of what they would do.
tone
like
on that
two
album
out
is
there.
so weird though.
The what?
Weirdest guitar tones on the
I like
Funebrae
the
album.
guitar. If you like old like demo style Finnish death metal, check this out. It's definitely one of the better ones. And I wanted to say, Cock, your voice kind of changed a little bit, but earlier in the episode, you kind of reminded me of Emo Phillips. You ever heard of him, the stand-up comedian? Fred, you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, the hole.
Well, I'm fucking sick right now, so that might be it.
Oh, you'll be the Fred of the episode.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
I'm glad I got to bring up Emo Phillips because I mean that's kind of the basis for like thumbnails. If anybody's noticed, it's like I wonder if anybody knows what any of this stuff is even from, because it's basically just random stuff that I like. That's what it is.
Can I just call out to myself for having like 3 weeks in a row where I haven't been sick and had a normal voice through the whole podcast? That's pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, we'll see after the show that you go to.
Yeah, no, I'll be fucked. I'll be fucked after that. But I mean,
Fuck you, Fred.
this is a pretty good streak.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
Paul, what's the next show we have coming up?
Damned if I know. Oh, Coven's playing.
Do we have to see Coven?
Maybe.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, Born.
Is it
Born
is
for
it like Drawn
Burning.
and Quartered opening for that?
No, I think
A bunch of bands, isn't it?
Early
Or no, it's not.
Roses.
Hmm.
But I think Born for Burning hinted at having Sabat come to LA next year. So we'll see.
Next year. Okay. Well, I think Verathron is coming next year, and I really don't know what's coming up, but we'll have to go and kill some people and all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
The huge.
The huge.
All right. Well, Cock, you have any last words about this or anything in general?
Well, from the first time I listened to this demo, I enjoyed it very much, and I consider it sort of a cross section between the early Finnish styles, like the Zisma Carcass influenced grind rock style, but also all these other influences coming in, and I consider it sort of a way to like appropriately incorporating your influences in a very fun and entertaining way, and I like it a lot, and I would recommend it to the listeners of this podcast.
Yay.
Fuck you guys. You guys are assholes.
That's how we function.
God. God, this show is fucking mess.
It's all right. Paul has a week to edit.
Cock out.
Won't you lend your lungs to me? Mine are collapsing. Plant my feet and bitterly breathe up the time that's passed. Breath I'll take and breath I'll give. Pray the day's not poised. Stand among the ones that live in lonely indecision. Fingers walk the darkness down, mind is on the midnight. Gather up the gold you found, you fool, it's only moonlight. And if you stop to take it home, your hands will turn to butter. Better leave this dream alone, try to find another.